RugbyMag.com, the official voice of rugby.
Actually had two teams in the semifinals. They played their own second team and beat them to get into the final. UBC played St. Joseph's out of Philadelphia, and that was a game where, if you ask most observers, they would have said that UBC was favored by 2 tries or more. In the end, the Birds beat the Hawks 10-7. Yes, very, very close. Well done, St. Joseph's. They had a very good tournament. And in fact, those 10 points were the first 10 points they gave up all tournament. So the Aces champions are Hummus out of Utah, and the high school elite champions are the high school All-Americans, and the men's elite champions are Serevi Selects out of Seattle. So 3 American teams, and the winner here will be a Canadian team as UBC.
Yellow, we have the University of Victoria, and white, the
University of Victoria. So T-Birds from UBC will be in white and blue, and the UVic Vikes are in yellow and black. We, despite our best efforts, could not get rosters for these teams. One of the things we have seen all day today, which we normally don't see, I'll rephrase that. One of the things we have not been seeing much today or this week on this field at Sam Boyd Stadium, and we usually see a great deal of, is restarts that go straight into touch. This is a slightly narrower field than most rugby teams are used to playing, just a few meters too narrow. And often the restart that's designed to go to the sidelines goes all the way out. But and the same with the players expecting to go wide, but UBC manages to gather that good cover defense from the Vikes. But that will be a penalty, not releasing the tackle player. T-Birds, they're going again. Oh, such big hits too. I would think that, yeah, not releasing the tackle player again, in fact, diving onto the ball. Not a lot of love lost between these two teams. It's going to be very physical, but lots of numbers for UBC out wide. If they just use the ball, which they're not doing, so slow to pass, and just gave away that try-scoring opportunity. Really needed to just catch, pass, and they would have scored. Vikes take it. They've turned the ball over, but they fumble it in goal. And that will be a 5-meter scrum for UBC. Perhaps a bit of an epidemic for a lot of the teams playing in the LVI is that they just take too long to pass the ball. Everybody who gets the ball thinks that they need to do something special before they pass it. And there's nothing wrong with just catching it in one step, and as you make your next step, passing it out to the next guy who's got more space. UBC wins it. Rolling ball out of the back of the scrum. Quick hands out to the wing. Around the corner. Great tackle. Recycled. And there's a gap. It's closed down quite nicely. And a dummy and in through. The smallest guy on the field. Scrum half goes in. And aggressive defense, the way you can sometimes beat that, just let them be aggressive and go in around you. It's kind of like a football draw play. so I apologize for making football references when talking about rugby. I know that often happens too much. 5-0 UBC leads here in the men's college final. UVic won this last year against Central Washington. The year before, Life University out of Georgia won this against Utah. And the year before that, Central Washington were champions, defeating Kutztown, Central Washington, back in 2011, winning this in the stadium. We see 5 LVI finals played in the stadium, with the women's final being played tomorrow, Sunday. Just what a great showcase for the fans to see this through this hour and a half break or so in the USA Sevens. So UVic trying to figure out an exit strategy, trying to get out of their own 22. And there's one way, take a gap. Oh. Tackled. It's the phone. Phone's ringing. Tackle and let the ball go forward. So, got to secure that ball to the Vikes. UBC put in the scrum. UBC up 7-0. Yeah, see, that was good quick hands, and then they had somebody out there. There's a ton of space out there in the wing. See if they can use it now. Pass? Yep, okay, there we go. And he's going to go in. Been waiting for that ball for quite a while, and there is the try. UVic looking a little bit frustrated with themselves, and you wonder sometimes at these tournaments, as the kick goes away, it says 12-0. You wonder about what happens when you play hard games as opposed to playing easy games. You know that UVic won against UVic 2. That's not going to be the kind of game they want in a semifinal. I know the UBC were a bit disappointed that they had one of their early games. They couldn't play it because Air Force Academy was not able to make it. They want to play. They want to be challenged. So that challenging semifinal for UBC, 10-7, certainly allowed them to be aware of the challenge ahead of them again against UVic. Nice ball movement, though. The Vikes are going. Good scissor movement. He's got somebody with him. He's not going to need him. Try for University of Victoria. UVic makes it 12-5. Right near the end of the first half. Nice kick. Well kicked, an important kick. That'll end the half. 12-7. UVic is trailing UBC. Two teams from the beautiful province of British Columbia. And actually, no, we're going to have the restart, despite the hooter going. Ball regathered by UVic. Nobody really claiming that for the Thunderbirds. Nobody getting under it and being aggressive and catching it. And it's another scoring opportunity for the Vikes. Oh dear, somebody's down. Somebody with the UBC not happy to made the hit, and he was on the ground, and he's still on the ground. And that'll keep UBC shorthanded while the play goes on. Looks like he got poked in the face. And UVic keeps going. Needed to move that ball. There was no reason to go into contact there. He had somebody on his outside. But a penalty against UBC. They're going 7-on-6 at the moment. And still UVic moves it. Cuts back inside. Knocked down. Referee says play on. Whoa, and there is the ball offloaded off the ground. What a huge sequence for the Vikes. Referee could have chosen to call the half after that try, but essentially I think decided that you should restart because the conversion kicker took his time. So he did that, and then UBC, all they needed to do to end that half would be to catch the restart, kick it into touch. They didn't do anything. They watched it hit the ground. It bounced back to the Vikes' possession, and then they worked it extremely well. And then we had the UBC player go down with an injury in making a tackle, and for the last several seconds, it was 7-on-6, and UVic just kept working it. Finally an offload and a try under the post. Now it's 14-12. UVic leads, and it really is halftime this time. Serevi gets their championship trophy, well deserved. What a punishing final that was. Kickoff here in the second half of this men's college final here at Sam Boyd Stadium. University of Victoria leading University of British Columbia 14-12, and UBC's brought on the big boys for the second half. Three massive forwards, in fact. Gracious. Nice offload in the tackle though. Birds are on the move. They got all their big guys out on the wing now. Holding on, very well done by the Vikes, and an extra 10 meters for throwing the ball away. And we're going to see a card. It's just not on. The ball was lying there, ready for a quick tap, and he rolls it away. So yellow card. So 7-on-6 again for University of Victoria. The first time it was because of an injury in the middle of play. The second time here because of a yellow card. Well, they're isolated, holding on by the Vikes. And you see how big that is to be isolated in the tackle when people come in to come and take the ball away from you. And they're well poached by the Vikes. They get it back. I think there's a lot of fatigue here. This is a tough tournament to be in. A lot of very hard games, hard ground, a little bit of altitude, certainly a little bit of dry air. And when you're coming from the rainy confines of British Columbia, you would expect a little bit of an adjustment. And I think the guys are showing a little bit of tiredness. You're seeing it in just players not getting to the ruck quickly enough, and opting sometimes to just stand there and say that they'll watch and hope for the best. 14-12, Victoria still leads, but it's penalty to UBC. They're going to take the line out with their big guys like that. Maybe that's the smart move. Certainly with one of their players in the bin, they'll want to sort of check off a few more seconds of that 2-minute penalty down. flat ball, a flat little throw, but it was called not straight, and very often that kind of throw will be called not straight. It looks directly to the catcher, not really the jumper. Nobody jumped for it, but yellow card is over. So UBC did enough to weather that storm, but they've got 4 minutes now left. Big drive from UBC. Now you see those big forwards. That's why they put them on there. They get the ball back. There it is. There's a gap. Reaches over. Beautifully done. That is using the laws correctly. Taken down on the ground. He can still stretch out. Touchdown over the line. It really does just touchdown on the line. Try UBC. 17-14. The Thunderbirds take the lead back from the Vikes. Kick is away. 17-14. UBC still leads. We have 3 minutes to go here in the men's college final. What a great crowd. What a beautiful day here at Sam Boyd Stadium. Absolutely lovely. It's January. It's 60-something degrees. It's going to get a little chillier soon, I think, as the sun goes down, but it's been a great, great day. Earlier saw really a couple of really dramatic games. New Zealand and Fiji being one of them. USA looking very good in winning a game, beating Spain. Canada having a very solid game, and they've got such great fan support here. So many good Canadian teams, and not so good Canadian teams, but enthusiastic, hard-working Canadian teams coming to this tournament, to the LVI, and to, of course, cheer on Canada. Knock on by UVic in their own 22. It's a bad error. Scrum to UBC. They've got the ball. And you see how the UVic defense is just trying to swarm on the players who are going to get the ball, but with good recycle, what do we have here? We have a numbers advantage. Oh, well, they did have a numbers advantage and could still potentially exploit it. The passing is so agonizingly slow, though. Again, some simple hands out might have benefited them. Instead, goofing around, and a knock-on is the result. Do occasionally see players fall over on this field. The grass is extremely short. It is the desert. Big drive from UBC, but they're called for pulling the scrum down or binding infraction. Quick hands for UVic. That's much better, but he's running out of room, and he offloads to nobody. Great offload there, caught, good catch more than anything else. And you can see those big hits. Well, they do love to hit each other, don't they? Some really good collegiate talent coming out of UBC and UVic. UVic's producing some players. Nathan Hirayama, who, when he's not injured, is the captain of the Canadian Sevens team. There's one of the players who's been just a great product from the Vikes. Big drive again from UBC. They win that scrum. What an interesting tactic to put those big guys on there. If they can move around, then you're all right. But the scrum, that's working. Little guy, not working so well, keeps falling over. So slow to pass that ball out. And that's the fatigue talking, really. Maybe the dry air. The ball is just bouncing all over the place now. It's looking like Gaelic football. UBC wins it, kicks it downfield. And those tired legs. Just a few seconds left before the hooter goes. UVic needs a try, and they've got a shot at it. Breaking through, one man to beat. passes out. What did he do? Why did he do it? And the knock forward by UBC, but that'll be enough. That will kill the ball, and that will kill the game. Somehow, some way, despite themselves almost, the UBC Thunderbirds, they beat St. Joseph's 10-7 in the semifinals, and they beat UVic 17-14 in the final. And despondent are UVic because they knew they had it. What a great game. Exciting. Check back all the news on American and Canadian rugby. For rugbymag.com, this is Alex Goff.